Cunha.
Chance here for Cunha! Mateus Cunha!
In Belgium.
Yes! That is clinical from Manchester United.
Dorgu.
Oh, it's a screamer! Patrick Dorgu pops up again, but that is of the highest quality from the Dane.
If you had to name the one player who's quietly saved Manchester United's season, who would you pick? Most fans will instantly jump to the obvious names. The player with the goals, the guy with the assists, the one who suddenly looks like he's worth the wages again. But if we're being honest, the real answer might be the least glamorous one, because the player who's arguably changed United the most this season isn't a forward, it isn't a midfielder, it isn't even someone who's constantly trending after every match, it's Lammens. And the reason is simple. United didn't just need quality this season, they needed something far more basic. They needed stability. For the last couple of years, United haven't just been inconsistent, they've been nervous. You could feel it every time the ball went back to the goalkeeper. The defenders didn't look like they were building play, they looked like they were playing hot potato. And the midfield, half the time they were positioned like they didn't trust what was happening behind them. And that's what people don't always understand about football. A goalkeeper doesn't just stop shots, he sets the mood of the entire team. If the keeper looks calm, the backline steps up. If the keeper looks shaky, everyone drops 5 yards deeper, and suddenly the whole system collapses into panic defending. It's not tactical, it's psychological. And United have been living in that fear for too long. After De Gea left, the club tried to modernise. That was the plan. The idea was clear. Get a keeper who can play out from the back, handle pressure, and help United control games instead of constantly reacting. So they brought in Andre Onana, a goalkeeper who looked perfect on paper. But football isn't played on paper, and Onana's time at United quickly became chaotic. Not because he had no ability, he clearly does, but his mistakes weren't small ones. They weren't unlucky deflections. They were the kind of errors that make a team lose trust in everything. And when defenders stop trusting their goalkeeper, they stop playing football properly. Suddenly the whole team plays like they're trying not to mess up instead of trying to win. That's why the arrival of Lammens mattered so much.
Man United's goalkeeping position has been a place that has been a graveyard for many players. When the ball's coming in the box and they're a big team, aggressive, and the keeper comes out and claims it, that feeling of looking down at him on the floor when he's getting back up and you're going, you know what, that's my keeper, man. That's my GK. No, I don't think they've been able to say that for a while. That must instill so much confidence in the back line, and then it spreads through the team.
And at the time, it didn't exactly feel like some genius signing. A young keeper from Belgium coming into the Premier League, joining one of the biggest clubs in the world. It sounded like the type of move you make when you've run out of options, not when you've found the solution. But the reality is, Lammens has brought something that United have desperately needed. He's brought calmness, and he's calm in the way that actually matters. He makes routine saves look routine. He catches balls instead of parrying them into danger. He deals with crosses like a goalkeeper, not like a man swatting a wasp. And yes, that should be the bare minimum. But at United lately, the bare minimum has been a luxury. What's impressed people most isn't that he's been flawless. He hasn't. He's young, he's still learning, and he's gonna make mistakes. But when Lammens makes an error, it feels like a young keeper developing. When United's keepers made mistakes in previous seasons, it felt like the start of a meltdown. The first thing you notice about Lammens is that his shot stopping feels tidy. There's no chaos to it. He isn't flying around like he's auditioning for YouTube compilations. He isn't making saves harder than they need to be. A lot of modern keepers love the dramatic parry. Ball comes in, they slap it away, crowd roars, everyone claps, and it looks brilliant. But the ball is still in play, the danger is still alive, and if your defenders are half a second late reacting, you're conceding anyway. Lammens doesn't do that. He catches what he can, he smothers what he can, And when he does parry, it's usually away from danger, not straight into the striker's path like a gift-wrapped rebound. That's the kind of detail casual fans don't always notice, but defenders notice it immediately. And it's one of the reasons United have looked far more composed defensively this season. One of the biggest problems United have had in recent years is that every one-on-one situation felt like a guaranteed goal. And that's partly because defenders were exposed too easily, but it's also because the keeper behind them didn't always look convincing. Lammens has been excellent in these moments. He doesn't sprint out too early, he doesn't dive before the striker commits, he doesn't collapse into himself like he's bracing for impact. He stays upright, he waits, he closes the angle gradually. He basically forces the striker into making the first move. And when you're a forward running through on goal, the worst thing you can face is a goalkeeper who looks calm, because panic is contagious. But calmness is terrifying. And Lammens has that. Now this is probably the biggest difference of all. United have been weak defending crosses for ages, not because the defenders can't head the ball, but because there's been uncertainty behind them. When the keeper doesn't come for crosses, defenders panic, they lose their man, and they start focusing more on survival than organisation. Lammens changes that dynamic. He comes for balls early, he punches when he has to, he catches when he can, he doesn't flap at it like it's a balloon at a kid's birthday party. And again, it sounds basic.
I think one of the most important things and the key points was for me to not make it too difficult for myself, doing the easy things good and not really looking to make the most amazing saves or do the most amazing stuff.
Lammens has brought authority into the 6-yard box, and when your keeper owns that area, it changes everything. Another underrated part of Lammens' game is his distribution. And no, he's not out here playing like prime Edison, pinging 60-yard passes onto wingers' toes every 5 minutes. But that's not what United need right now. What he does bring is simplicity and intelligence. He knows when to go short, when to go long, and most importantly, he doesn't force passes just to look brave. Under pressure, he clears his lines, resets the team, and keeps United from gifting teams cheap chances. After years of goalkeepers turning simple passes into horror movies, having someone who just makes the right decision feels like a breath of fresh air. So yeah, Manchester United didn't magically become prime Barcelona overnight, but for the first time in a long time, we've stopped losing games because of stupid goalkeeper mistakes. And honestly, that's what makes this season feel different. So if this form continues, and Carrick keeps building, and the team keeps playing like this, then maybe, just maybe, we can finally stop treating every shot on target like a near-death experience, and that alone might be the biggest upgrade United have made in years. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments. Are we finally safe in goal, or are we just waiting for the next Howler compilation to drop? I'll see you in the next one.